What is up, brand builder? Stephen Hurahan here at BrandMasterAcademy.com. And in this video, you're going to learn what brand dilution is. So you can get some perspective on exactly who your brand exists for and let them act as a compass for strategic direction. Now, if you're new to the channel and you want to build brands that go beyond the visuals using strategy, psychology, and creative thinking, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want to fast track your results, make sure you grab the Pro Brand Strategy Blueprint. It's a free download. The link is in the description. Now, brand dilution is not a household term in the realm of branding, certainly not like brand positioning or brand personality or storytelling or anything like that. And it really only comes to the surface when a brand has lost its way. But it's important as a professional brand builder that you understand what brand dilution is so you can avoid the fate of other brands that have lost their way. So what exactly is brand dilution? Well, brand dilution occurs when a brand becomes unfocused in its offering of products or services to its particular audience. Now, this tends to typically happen when a brand is trying to expand into a new category, and that happens through what's called brand extension. Now, it's no secret that brands are built on reputation. That is what the brand is essentially. When it grows brand equity, it's growing its reputation. And typically brands grow a reputation to become known for something, so the audience expects a certain kind of thing from this brand. And when they try to expand beyond that, often they're met with resistance by the audience. Now, this doesn't always happen. Brands have expanded successfully into different categories before, and this, as I said, is called brand extension. But ultimately, it is the audience who decides whether or not they're going to adopt whatever it is the brand is putting in front of them. And if the audience rejects it or feels that, this isn't an area that that brand should be going into, then they will reject whatever offer is coming out. So why would this happen? Why would brands try to expand into other categories where they don't have a reputation or where they haven't built that reputation? Well, brands and brand leaders, they need to appease not just the customers, but the shareholders as well. And appeasing shareholders means growing the brand, growing the business, and growing the revenue. So this happens either through poor or risky leadership, where the brand will try to expand into a category and the audience rejects their expansion into that category and tell the brand, listen, this is not what we want from you. What we want from you is what you built your reputation on. So it can have a negative effect on the brand if the audience rejects that, because it damages the reputation and what they have built their brand on and what they have become known for. So let me give you an example of brand dilution. Now, Microsoft have been around for years. Microsoft used to be the biggest brand in the world, and they built a reputation on software development. Now, back in the early 2000s, Apple, who also built their name in the same space, broke into the smartphone industry. Now, they didn't create a new category. The smartphone already existed before the iPhone, but they certainly revolutionized the smartphone space, and they took off after that. Apple, the share price of Apple absolutely soared after that, the revenue of Apple. And that's really the beginning of where Apple really started to take off. And it's obvious that if Microsoft have been competing with Apple, and Apple have made such a success of breaking into the smartphone market, that Microsoft would want a slice of that pie. But they did leave it a little bit late, and they came in there at a time when the market was highly, highly competitive, and their audience rejected the smartphone. The wider audience rejected Microsoft as being a player in the smartphone space, and that ultimately led to really bad press for Microsoft, and Microsoft taking a hit on its overall reputation. And this is the big danger of brand dilution. It is not easy to build a brand, to build that reputation, to build a name, to really stake a claim in the mind of your audience for the position that you want to own. It's not easy. You need to do a lot of things right consistently to build that reputation. And once you have that reputation, it needs to be nurtured. Now, if you go out into the market and try and expand into another area that does not align with the reputation on which your brand has been built, then your audience could reject that. And that is the real downside and the real danger here with brand dilution. Once your audience rejects something that you have put out into the market, essentially they're going to remember that you didn't understand them. You didn't understand what they wanted from your brand, and that is going to damage your reputation. Now, it doesn't mean that it's going to be damaged beyond repair, but it really means that you need to think about where you're going. You need to really have a focus on who your audience is and what they want from your brand before making any strategic decisions. So how do you avoid brand dilution? Well, there's no formula or hard and fast rules here. It's really just about understanding who your audience is and what they want from your brand, and before expanding into any category, to gauge the temperature on whether or not this is something that they want from your brand. And the key here is relevancy. Once you have built a reputation and once you're known by your audience for something, then you need to make sure that wherever you're expanding into has a relevant link to that reputation, because if it doesn't, then there's going to be a high likelihood that the audience is going to reject what you're putting out there. So as I said, the key here is relevancy. If you want to avoid dilution, if you're considering brand expansion or expanding into another category, make sure that the relevancy is there. But remember, your number one asset as a brand is your reputation. That is your brand equity, and that is what you build your entire brand on. If you want to learn how to build brand equity in 10 steps, this video will show you exactly how to do that. Until next time, brand like a master, and I'll see you in the next video.